Welcome guys to another video. I am Nair, and in today's video, you see the title, I'm going to be talking about extreme horror movies, or just extreme films in general. Because there are extreme films that are not in the horror genre, and I just want to talk about them as a whole. And this wasn't a video I had planned or even in my notes of videos I wanted to do, but this kind of sprung onto me by a recommendation that popped up on my YouTube that's right in front of me of, in fact, let's give the person, Catzilla, made a video about extreme horror and how far is too far, and I want to make not the exact same video, so, and her video is 50 minutes long, so, yeah, much longer than mine will, like 20, 50, 100 million times bigger than mine, or longer, so, yeah, anyway, but I want to talk about it because I do like extreme horror. I do like certain films from that genre of horror, and I do think that it can go too far. Now, do I say what's too far? No. Does Catzilla say what's too far? No. Everyone has their line of too far. There is not a certain definition, a definitive line that you cannot cross. Well, actually, there probably is, but in my opinion, there is not a line for me. I feel like I know where my limit is, and I know what I do not enjoy watching, and that's kind of where I draw the line. I think everyone has their own line. I don't think there's a definitive line. Now, that might be controversial, and people are going to be like, no, there's a definitive line. You can't cross this boundary, and this line, and this whatever. That's your boundary. Now, there might be another person that lives right next to you that can watch half of the lines that you think are too far to cross, while maybe they have a totally different boundary. Everyone has their own boundaries, and I think that is just the extreme horror genre is there to challenge your stomach, your ability to watch something that may be extremely disturbing. Yes, the movie is fake, obviously, but the content of what it is about could be very real in the real world, or even just it is disturbing, so it is pushing your limits. That's what extreme horror, in my opinion, is all about, is pushing limits. Do I think extreme horror should be, like, the only thing you watch, or, like, your favorite genre, or blah, 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 blah? No, I don't think so. Because I think extreme horror is something you watch every once in a while. It's not your main genre. It's not your main facet in horror. I think that is kind of insane if it is like, oh, all I watch is a Serbian film type movies and that's all I like. Then I think you might be needing a mental evaluation of yourself, because I think you might be a little crazy. But my whole point is, extreme horror is something you dabble in. Like, I've seen the house that Jack built. I would say that's an extreme horror movie. Now, it's not the most extreme, but it is pretty extreme. There's a movie for you. If you've not seen it, go watch it. I think it's pretty decent. There's a Serbian film, which I will never watch. There's the Human Centipede movies. There's Tusk. There's there's books. I don't know all the extreme horror genre. I don't know that many. I would even say The Hills Run Red, which is a very underrated slasher, which I actually really like. And there was supposed to be a sequel, but it didn't succeed, so they never made the sequel, sadly enough. But go watch it. It's pretty dark and pretty disturbing. The Hills Run Red. The Hills Have Eyes. The Last House on the Left. I Spit on Your Grave. I think those are considered extreme horror. I don't know. Anyway, it is a genre that is a very niche genre, that's a genre that really doesn't need to blow up. I don't want to see extreme horror be like, this is the top genre in horror films right now, and everyone is watching crazy, demented, depravity every single day. I think that's gonna take a mental toll on you, and you're gonna like go crazy, cuckoo, like brain. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Just don't. I think it's a thing you dabble in, a thing that you are intrigued by, but you don't like watch on the daily. But what do I think is a definitive line? Even though I said earlier in the video, there is no definitive line of going too far. But where do I draw the line? Do I think there is a definitive line? No. But here is the line that I don't cross. Well, actually, I probably couldn't even say these things on video, so I'm going to allude to them as much as humanly possible without saying them straight up and getting this channel terminated. So, child, child, anything that has to do with children that's, like, too far, that's, like, disgusting, that's not just straight up, like, killing them. If it's any more than that, no, bro. That's a line I cannot, I can't watch it. That's just disturbing. Grape. That's how I'm gonna say it. Grape. I don't like those type of scenes. I don't like those movies. They're not the greatest. I don't really understand it. There's a lot of lines, okay? I'm not even gonna go through it, because this video will be like 50 minutes long if I try to think of all of my lines and what I think is too far. But everyone has their own lines. And their own boundaries, and their own, what do you say, thresholds with what they can watch. But can extreme horror go too far? Yes. I'm never watching a Serbian film. I do not care. I will not watch it. I've heard it's terrible, in the means of, like, what it's about. Then I've heard people say it's not even that bad, it's overhyped. Overhyped. That's not a word I would be using to describe a Serbian film. I do plan on watching the Human Centipede movies, like I did Hostel last year, and watch the Human Centipede movies, at least the first two, and see how I feel afterwards, because Hostel made me dislike that so much. Even though Hostel 1 is a decent movie, I think Hostel 2 is just borderline insanity. So, yeah. I think Hostel might be even considered in the extreme category. I don't really know what the extreme horror category really is, like what movies are considered extreme horror and what's not. I don't know. Maybe even The Hills Run Red, which I think is really disturbing, has some crazy scenes, might not even touch the surface of extreme horror. It's not even probably extreme horror. I don't know, but go watch The Hills Run Red. It's a very underrated movie. Anyway, like and subscribe, turn notifications on, check out at least one friend, comment down below what is your favorite extreme horror movie, and I'll see you guys in the next video.